Linguistics as a base for linking astronomical events to events in the Odyssey by April Vihilidal for UROC UNM 2021. The Linguistics of the Greek Language of 1178 BCE. Let us now describe the compound words that links a man to his grandfather by a word that is both the name of the man and the name of the grandfather. So those two words would be laika, bavtos, and autolykos, and the commonality between them are laika and lykos, meaning wolf. The grandfather, autolykos, to the myth, and thereby through lineage to the grandson, lykabavtos, the astronomical celestial body that is linked to the grandfather via myth and birth ancestral tree, that thereby links that same astronomical celestial body to the grandson, the man via lineage, is of course the moon, because the moon is related to the wolf. Now we have laika and lykos from lykavantos and autolykos. Now let us describe the actual compound word and how this compound word allows for an astronomical event, such as the new moon on the day of the full solar eclipse of April 16th, 1178 BCE at high noon, to be understood. So if we have lykavantos, which is the wolf advantage, and it is a descendant within the genitive of autolykos, we can understand that there is a connection between the grandfather and the grandson as far as understanding the connection between wolf and moon, so that at the time of the verse using this word or this compound word autolykos to lykavantos, we see that Odysseus, as the wolf's advantage, is understanding that he will take advantage of the time of the new moon to attack the suitors of his wife. Now, let us look at how it can be an event that can be reconstructed using an astronomical software program such as Voyager 4.5.7. So if we are able to move back in time and reconstruct April 16th, 1178 BCE and look at the sky above Ithaca at the time of high noon on the new moon, we can see that Odysseus did take advantage and use this time to attack the suitors with revenge. Now, we can also understand that this is a metaphor for the human condition, because just as there is an eclipse, Homer used the actual astronomical eclipse to use that as a metaphor to say that Odysseus's higher consciousness, his Apollo sun nature, was eclipsed by the new moon of Artemis, the goddess of the moon and the hunt, the lower nature of the wolf, as well as the age-old triangulation of gods, mortals, and animals, because we have the god Apollo, the wolf god, and the mortals, which are Odysseus and his grandfather, which are all understood to be acting in their animalistic-like consciousness, which is considered the wolf consciousness. So see, we have gods, mortals, and animals connected through and with the concepts of the moon and the wolf, as in Autolycus, the wolf itself, and in Lycavantos, the wolf's advantage. The linguistics of the Greek language of 1178 BCE. Translators of the past mistranslated the text by using the root of the masculine genitive, Lycavas, plus another word to derive the translation to be year. They used Lycavas antoso. So they had the root Lycavas, plus they added another extraneous word antoso, and then they put those together to create the phrase that then translated to the year, instead of the genitive masculine itself, which is actually in the manuscripts, and that is Lycavantos, which translates to the wolf advantage. So they went from the wolf advantage to wolf going, which is not exactly correct. So the Lyca vas antoso, the year, is a whimsical form of Lycos vino, because the days of the year follow one another so immediately like wolves, which when crossing a river bite one another in the tail, or more correct from Lyce, the path of light, the course of the sun, and moon, as the wolf howls at the moon, so it could be translated as lunar month and or solar year, and often Lyce is also translated as the twilight in the morning. Let's just go ahead and review these compound ancient Greek words again. So the genitive case is Lycavantos, wolf advantage. The root of that genitive case is Lycavas, meaning wolf go. Then the root plus another word equals the translation of the year, which is Lycavas, the root, plus the extraneous word antoso, Lycavas antoso, meaning the year, related to Autolycus, the grandfather of Odysseus, which means the wolf itself. And remember, the grandfather is related to the grandson through the words Lycos and Lyca, meaning wolf. So the grandson, Odysseus, is wolf advantage. The grandfather is the wolf itself. So you can see from this historical process of translation that they now link the meanings of man, wolf, moon, and the passage of time as in a year together. The linguistics of the Greek language of 1178 BCE. We now understand the genitive case of Lycavantos, wolf advantage, is the name of Odysseus, and that it relates to Autolycus, the wolf itself, the name of Odysseus's grandfather, connected to each other by Apollo, the wolf god, who is the stepfather of Odysseus, which is connected to the goddess of the moon and the hunt, Odysseus's mother's murderer or killer, the goddess Artemis. The moon in this sense hunts or follows the sun, as they are brother and sister, and the sister Artemis follows the brother Apollo, as in the moon follows the sun astronomically in reality. Let's take one last look at the translation. Lycavantos, wolf advantage. Not Lycavas plus antoso, Lycavas antoso the year. No. The compound word is used to translate not the root of the genitive of the actual compound word used to translate. So we have Lycavantos from the following verses. Book 14, verse 161, and Book 19, verse 306. And let's look at that translation word for word. Taud, herein, afdau, him, Lyca, wolf, vantos, advantage or primacy, elepheste, advent or far, and thad, in this condition, at this stage, in this case, to this point. And then Odysseus, which actually translates to hate. Now when we put all of that and string it together, we can come up with a translation that works well in both of these verses. So we have April Vihilidal's more accurate translation, that's me, my translation, is Odysseus awaits the new moon with the character of a wolf planning with his wolf-like advantage. And this supports the concept that Odysseus is planning for his wolf-like attack on the new moon.